Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be baking a lemon poppy seed cake, which was baked on Kristin John's channel, and I'm really excited to try this recipe, so let's go ahead and start baking. Alright, so I've already run into an issue, if this will focus, because I've got a bunch of different cake pans. These I think are only 8-inch, which I have 2 of. And then these I think are 9-inch, which I have 2 of. And then I've got a spring form, which is 9 inches too. But when I line these two up, I guess they seem like the same size. I don't know. So I have to decide whether I'm just going to do 2 layers and they're going to be thicker layers, or if I risk it and make a 3rd layer in a pan that I'm not sure the size of. Alright, so the directions say to line 3 8-inch, but since I only have 2 8-inch, I'm going to line these, see if I can fit the batter in them, and then if not, I'll just have to rotate and bake a second batch. So I learned this parchment trick on Pinterest, where you take your piece of parchment paper, you fold it corner to corner, so it makes like a little triangle, and then you take that middle of the corner and you keep folding, so like it makes another little triangle, and then you keep folding in on that triangle. Keep folding again, keep folding again, until you get this little triangle that's like very, very narrow. And then I'll move you guys up here really quick. So then you take your pan, and let me grab a pair of scissors. So you take your pan and you line that up with the middle, and you can see where you have to cut, so I'll just mark that with my finger. And then you're going to cut at that mark, and it makes basically like paper snowflakes, kind of. So it makes this perfect round, which you can then pop into the bottom of your cake pan. And I cut this one a little off, but it actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to, and I'm super happy about that. So, a little hack for you guys. So for dry ingredients, you have 3 cups of cake flour. I used all-purpose, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of lemon zest, which took me about 2 lemons. So I added in the flour mixture and the buttermilk mixture in 3 batches. So 3 batches of the flour and then 2 of the buttermilk. And this is the consistency right now of the batter. It looks pretty good. It looks like light and fluffy. I'll take it off the machine and then I'll show you guys. Alright, so this is the mixture. It's pretty light and fluffy. It actually looks super yellow in the camera, but I promise it's not that yellow. It's actually pretty pale looking. So our last step is gonna be to mix in the poppy seeds, and I just got these at the grocery store. They're pretty expensive. This bottle was like $8. So the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of poppy seeds. So I'll just open this up. So I'm actually just going to use like a spoon. So 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. Let's follow that in. So that looks pretty good, if it'll focus on that. Looks pretty good. Alright, so this is going to be the tricky part, putting the batter into the 2 cake pans, because it should be split into 3, but since I only have 2, I'm going to have to kind of eyeball how much I'm putting into each. So I will just set you guys down right here and start scooping, I guess. See how this spreads out, because obviously you want enough cake in here but not too much cake. This is way more complicated than I thought it was going to be. Let's spread this one out. Alright, so those two look pretty good. Might put a little bit. Alright. So these are the first 2, and I'm just going to pop them in the oven. For the frosting, you need 12 ounces of cream cheese, 8 ounces of unsalted butter, 4 ounces of salted butter. I just used more unsalted and add a pinch of salt. 4 to 6 cups of confectioner sugar. I ended up using 4 because I didn't want it to be too sweet. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Alright, so this is the final setup. Here's my frosting. I've got my 3 cakes, and then I made a little one for me so I can try it. But I put the bottom one on the plate. This one's still hot. This one's cool now, but I've got to wait for this one to cool down before I do any decorating, and then I will be back. So I decided to make candied lemons, 2 lemon slices to put on top of the cake. So I just have 3/4 of a cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in here. And basically you're just going to let the sugar dissolve and bring this to like a low boil, and then put lemon slices in it and let them sit for 14 to 16 minutes according to the recipe. So I will let you guys know how those turn out. Alright, so it is decoration time, and this icing is nice and cold, so I'm actually going to swap these things around. Alright, so I've got my cake on a plate here, the first layer, and I'm going to plop a big dollop of frosting right on there. And I guess, actually, used to have a frosting like spreader, but I guess I'm gonna use a butter knife for right now. And just like start making an even coating of frosting. Bring it out to the edges. Then I'm going to put the next layer on. And take the next dollop. Last but not least, our top layer here. It actually is looking pretty good to me. I'm gonna pop this on there real quick. So that's pretty good. And now I guess I'll just start scooping and attempting to frosting the sides. I'm not a professional cake baker, obviously. Should probably do like a crumb coat, but I don't even know if I have enough frosting for a crumb coat, honestly. So we're just gonna make do with what little skill we have with this. And believe me, I mean what little skill we have at this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and then I can probably fix it up a little bit.